I need to turn this light off
Sorry,
too.
I'm standing because I've been sitting for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Dude, I've been on this computer for 2 weeks.
You've been on your board for like 2 weeks.
I only get to work on the board on the weekends.
That's not true.
On your laptop or on your computer?
My computer.
Huh. I thought you printed labels for Octoblast.
Yeah, yesterday or the day before.
I understand that's a task.
It's been a nightmare because it's me over so many times with that grouping. I've had to find issues and it takes me hours to fix it. Luckily, I saved every hour. I ended the show at 4.9.
4.9.
Revision 4.9.
Oh.
1.1, 1.2, all
what
the way
dictates,
to 1.9.
I have a question. What dictates a master revision from like 1 to 2? And I'm not talking what's after the decimal point. I'm talking before.
Well, because after 9, you just had to start on a number.
Start over.
Yeah, as I made it to 1.9, I was like, now it's 2.1.
Oh God, that's funny.
I didn't want to do 1.11, 1.12. I didn't like that.
That's really funny.
It is very.
That's really funny. Usually, what I like, I'll go from 1 to 2. Like it's because I made a big change,
a huge change.
Yeah, I made a huge change in the script, so it's like, okay, this is 2.0. Huge changes. Jamie, that's clever. You just start over when you get to 10.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
9, and I have no more
39
digits.
revisions.
I'm running out of fingers.
Oh God, it's been one stressful week.
Well,
and my weekend's over, and I'm screwed.
No, you're fine.
Think about it. You're double designing. You're designing a show and a board at the same time. And I don't even know if you would call that a board. It's a
steamboat.
A stage.
It's a freaking steamboat is what it looks like. When you put a tarp over it, it looks like he's building what is that thing that Troy rolled in? The wooden horse, the big wooden horse.
Trojan.
Trojan horse. Yeah. It's Jamie's Trojan horse.
Trojan man.
He's going to wheel that sucker into Octoblast. It is. Arguably as tall as his house.
It's taller in a garage.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh God.
That's some kind of record, Jamie. I don't think you've sworn this much in an intro since your chili.
I didn't realize we were recording.
Yeah, we were.
My screen went up.
It's okay. They're definitely not going to be able to play this over the loudspeaker. It's got words.
Yes, they will. There's no kids there.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast.
Maybe 1 or 2.
Where Posey, AJ, and Jamie ignite your passion for pyro musical show design while testing the very limits of your capacity for stupid.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast. I'm Bo. That's AJ.
Hola.
And that's Jamie. He's mad.
I'm mad.
He's mad.
I'm mad.
We're hobbyists and semi-professional pyro show designers, big fans of the modern pyro music. On our little podcast is a place we can get together, talk shop, fireworks, art, share some tips, tricks, news, and insights with you. What's up, boys?
Not much. How about yourself?
Oh, just getting ready for Sky Wars tomorrow.
Busy.
Yep. Busy.
Yep. See you guys in a few days.
I know. It's going to be a lot of fun. Go check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Rhythm Pyro. Go join the Discord. All that good stuff is in the description of this episode. Every year, the best pyro show designers in the amateur and pro domestic segments do battle above the skies of Innsbruck, Missouri at Sky Wars. And today, we're going to set our bias aside based on public information, and we're going to provide you with in-depth analysis of the competitive landscape. And for the first time ever, we're actually going to be so bold as to pick our favorites to win in both the Pro-Am and the Pro divisions. And just remember, it's all in good fun. Don't be a Don't be a weirdo.
It's just our thoughts and opinions.
Yeah,
we're nobody. Don't listen to us.
Don't be a weirdo.
Don't be what?
I said, don't be a weirdo. Don't make it awkward. Don't make it weird. And that's the last thing that any of us want, is for you to come up and give us the dead eyes and a mad dog. I can't believe you said that.
You don't like that?
What's it? You don't like that? You want to go? You don't want to go?
I'm just saying, man. One of the other judges feels the same way.
With that said, let's start with the Pro-Am, where 1.4 consumer UN0336 and 1.4 Pro UN0431 and 0336 for pro use only, and a budget are really the name of the game. Now, given the nature of the product itself, displays in this category are naturally lower in the vertical spectrum, which is good in the sense that you're kind of framed out a bit and less likely to break gaze with audience and judges. You don't want to break the necks, I guess, which it's a lot easier to do in the pro segments. But you guys want to start with Kevin Adams?
Yeah, we can start with Kevin.
Showing.
Kevin! Yeah. Oh, never mind. They killed Kevin. I forgot. Oh, it's Kenny. Never mind. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember Kevin being killed in Home Alone.
Oh, I went totally different direction with that one. It's late. We shouldn't be doing this.
You usually do.
All right. So I'll start with him. First thing, one thing I did notice about him, and it's going through his whole show, very Slice King happy. He reminds me of Mike Allen has that same kind of thing. Just really big impacts with slices. A lot of emphasizing of notes and sections of his music like that.
Yeah.
It brings out a huge field, something to, fill it. I mean, it gives you that dramaticness, and especially in crowd applications, that just boom. It's a wowing factor.
Prior to, kind of doing homework for this episode, I didn't admittedly know much about Kevin, but I didn't realize that he's competed as much as he has in PGI. And I think when Sean had mentioned something when he was on the show a few shows back, I was like, oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. We'll have to go and look. But I would agree with you in the music section for sure. I think he's versatile in his music selection, and it plays well with his design style. It seems to rely heavily on creating a visual representation of those tracks as they kind of evolve. I'm expecting a music track that will take the audience on kind of an emotional journey based on what I saw on some of the PGI shows. Now, given the ones in PGI, I think all those were one track, right? We're just talking like one song. I think they were all pretty short.
No, the other one I think had a few songs. No, the first one I think we watched had a couple songs. It was the Unlimited or something like that.
He blended a few songs, especially as
it was the Unlimited. But and again,
Rabbit
also
was a blend of a few songs.
And watching those too, remember those are out of your pocket too. They're not huge, giant giant budget shows. Yeah. So for him, he's like, oh, I gotta take it a little easy here. My wife's gonna kill me.
Yeah. What do you think the odds are that we see something that's kind of based around a theme?
I don't know. I mean, the one where he had the multiple songs, there wasn't so much of a theme that at least that I caught on to, I think. But who knows? Anybody can change. I mean, this is when your whole creativeness comes out in you. It's completely different.
How many times have we seen designers, or at least the body of work that exists for a particular designer, and we look at it, we analyze it, and then we talk to it, but then they roll up to Skywars and you're like, oh my gosh, is this even the same dude? Is this even the same designer? Because I think that's happened quite a bit with a number of designers.
Yeah. I would say with Kevin, the few different shows that I watched, each one was a little different from the other. I mean, their baseline was he usually, whether he had a theme, his music tracks always blended very nice. They were very relevant to the time and more contemporary, maybe a little bit more upbeat. But each one evolved a little bit differently. And I think he is playing around with this style. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with all that he's done in PGI over the years and his other displays for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to be It's going to be filled with highs and lows. I expect it to play really, really well in a competition setting, because typically the song selections, or at least from the pool that I've seen, the songs that he's chosen so far, those tracks play really, really well with Pyro. They play really, really well to audiences. And I think it's going to be, it'll really work for Kevin if he kind of continues that trend at Skywars.
Agree. I liked the music that he played in all those too. It's catchy for everybody. It's like that perfect, oh God, I forgot what ambience kind of music for everything.
Yeah.
One thing I will, and just my opinion, and I hope to see something different. I want to see him use more single shots. And I think with this kind of field and this kind of platform, I think he really will. And I'm really anxious to see what he does with that, because like I said, he shoots a lot of slices. I want to see what he does when he's got a ton of single shots to shoot.
Yeah, when he's got the space to do it. The music tracks that he's selecting, it's good music for those super impactful, large scale, full wingspan, single product or color dominant runs, to emphasize those monster climactic moments, like Absolutely. When you go and drop the hammer. And that's really where I see him using a ton of those slices. And then, I think if you wind up coupling that, or when you couple that with a lot of the free running, longer burning effects in the horsetails and the strobes that kind of create that flow and movement through the less intense sections of the track, then you're bound to see something that ebbs and flows. But I completely agree with you. I am looking forward to see if he does ratchet up his use of single shots on this stage.
I agree. I hope to see the single shots increased, but I don't want to see the slices disappear completely, because they are so impactful and he does a very good job at that. But some of those single shot runs leading into that impactful moment will emphasize that slice even more. And I think he will do a very good job if he pulls that off overall.
AJ, you can kind of talk to this, I guess. The slice thing. How impactful is that on your budget in the 1.4 Pro?
Flies out the window very, very quickly. I mean, think about it. If you're pinning slices, their prices have fluctuated a lot lately, but when they're about $20 a shot, you got 5 position, that's $100 and 5 of them. And that's $100 and get you almost 200 cues if you play it right with some different effects.
Right.
And that can be 5 cues or 200 cues. So, I mean, using like what Jamie said, using slices, I hope to see them the way he uses them, because they're impactful and stuff. But I hope to see more use of that budget into the single shots to capture flow.
Yeah. Flow and control, right? Your single shots, they can make or break you when it comes to the conveyance of timing in your show. You can emphasize those really big moments as you go throughout the show, but the single shots are really what's going to convey your ability to control the field with the judges.
When you watch a dancer, you see him constantly moving. If you saw a dancer stop for like 1 beat and then wait 2, 3, 4 and move 2, 3, 4 and then move. If you see a dancer like that, you're like, is he a mime? Or what is it?
Yeah.
And they're kind of seeing something just that kind of gives you that, like what you would do when you bop your head to music. You keep a flow, you keep a flow, you keep a flow. It's okay to stop once in a while and breathe, but I like flow.
Yeah. Yep. I believe that Kevin's going to play to his strengths. I think that he's going to let the music lead the way, and he's going to do the work to demonstrate solid adherence to visual and emotional storytelling. So I'm expecting a good show out of Kevin. And
I'm expecting him to bring something that we probably never seen before too. Because I noticed from his first shows to his previous shows, you can see definite growth in all of his shows.
And he's going to be playing in the playground where we like to see the wow factor for sure.
Oh, I'm sure he's holding on to a few where he's like, I can't afford that, but now I can.
Tom Conan. So I'm a cat guy. I just love those little shitheads to death. They're curious, and so am I. I'm extremely curious to see what Tom rolls out tomorrow night. So much of what he has out there is based in visualizations and visualizations.
Simulations. It's okay. I'm wearing off on you. I'm sorry.
I'm becoming dumber every week.
You need to be more specific about what the simulations.
It's,
oh my God.
While so much of what he's done is based in visualizations and not real world designs to reference for us to get a complete analysis, I think it would be completely foolish to discount his experience, right? The guy is a full-time pyrotech with Disney. My curiosity stems from wondering how that experience is going to translate to a design and an execution path that's all his own on the Skywars field, you know?
Yeah, when it's not like you have someone there to run back to and ask for advice. It's like, this is your show, your site, you're the lead, you're the everything. Can you execute this here without knowing any knowledge of the place whatsoever?
Yeah, right. I think that technical prowess is there. He does his stuff every day, right? So he knows.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he sat down and made a map and notes to himself. He's got that on the, but it's. I'm saying it's different when it's all on your shoulders for the first time.
Yes.
You know
yeah. It is different because the administration of that, taking it from concept and design to something that translates to the real world, and then taking everything that you've learned and conveying that to your team to get off the ground. There's a whole lot of gray area in there before you get to the part where you might be familiar with that process.
It's harder to look at Sims and not see something more that they've actually done, because they convey two different things. The effects he's using, are they all stock effects? Are they built effects? Are they legitimate how you would see them? Like we always talk about that. Watching those kind of shows on The Sims, I see what he's doing with them. I hope to God that they convey out that way. If that is his style, I hope that conveys his actual show. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think of how to say this. I can't think of it.
He's got a very unique design style, right? He harmonizes his colors extremely well. You can see him kind of making his way around the color wheel often in his sight picture choices. And he's unique in his single shot shapings too. On the Skywars field, so often you see recycled shapings. You see the parabola wing shaping of the last 5 or 6 years. It's used in so many different places, and he does deliver those things differently. He's got respect for the effects too. So, I expect we're going to see good, clean verticals where the effects he chooses are going to be feature effects, chosen specifically to become the focal point of the different phrasings and sections within his music track. Because I think that's extremely important, especially here's the linchpin, right? Because the simulations that we've all seen are, they've got 6-inch shells in them. They got 8-inch shells in them. Yeah. Well, this is the Pro-Am, so it's a little different. You're not going to get the burn times.
You're not getting that separation that you usually got.
You're not going to get the exactly. But now, like you were saying, he's utilizing some really fancy domestic made product that is probably, some Prox product that's going to very likely afford him some of those burn times. We could see some really, really nice stuff, and he can create some really, really nice shapes. I think he's just going to have to be a little quicker when it comes to the gaps that he's not going to have, because you don't have a huge 8-inch strobe that, you can blanket the sky with, 2 or 3 of them.
To let it balloon for a while and kind of take over that thing. Like you're going to have to keep it moving and flowing it, because the effects don't last as long in 1.4.
Yeah.
Unless they do. And then in that case, I'm going to go buy some of that stuff.
Group buy.
$60 for a 62. What? That thing lasted 10 seconds though, man. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
He's a very from contemporary. I guess you can see a lot more of that European or like international kind of like flow with him. It's very big and impactful kind of thing, with, like you were just explaining, a lot of more shells, like a lot more, they use shells to impact kind of things. Where I'm curious, again, with what we were talking about with Kevin with slices, how many of those you're going to have in that show? Because if it gets expensive with those up there too. You know, popping those left and right, dollar signs are flying.
Yeah.
So how much can you keep that constantly going in that show? And I think what's their time limit? 7 minutes minimum, right?
I think so. That sounds about right. I thought it's like 7 to, I don't know. What was it last year for you? 7 to, that's what I thought was 7 to 9.
For this year, for us, it was, we had, 10.
What was it for you in 2021?
It was 7 to 10.
7 to 10. Okay.
Or no, 8 to 10. Sorry, it was 8 to 10.
Okay. What do you think, Jamie?
I think that his sims are pretty amazing. Overall, I mean, his rise and his verticals from, you know, the down low to the middle level to the highs it's very well thought out. He emphasizes with the shells, but he leads into it with comet runs and the slices and the shells. His color palettes are phenomenal. He may be a ringer in this situation because he's kind of unknown for us, but I'm interested in seeing his IRL, seeing it in real life, because every simulation I've seen has been in the 1-3 category. So he's got those high lifting shells. He's going to be playing them with a budget and shells that don't quite do all these cool little things. So I'm interested to see what he does in this scale of things, because if he can pull off anything that he's pulling off in these simulations, I think it'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. I think we'll see a lot of longer burning, or at least what longer burning effects do exist within the 60 to 62 millimeter shell space. I think we'll see our fair share of them.
I think we'll see a lot of ground effects too.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just have a feeling we're going to see a lot of like flames and like quick stuff on the ground. I think
we want to see the flashes and bursts, synchronizing with comets and slices. I mean, he's going to have to emphasize that with not being able to get the shells up as high as he probably wants to.
Yeah. Well, and I guess another piece of that too was, you know, we had talked about some of his sections in his work, in his shows, where you wouldn't necessarily see much going on, where he was trying to use some downward momentum in his songs to create either a reset or a new ramp point, because he's shooting a show based around Jacob Collier's musical work. And you know, that musician is, you know, he's insanely talented. He's a progressive musician, a producer. That Box of Stars tune is a piece of music that it's all over the place in terms of genre that it hits. So I'm interested to see if he rolls that tune from beginning to end, or if he tries creative ways to cut in and out of that track to get to different sections quicker, because there are sections of that song where, you know,
he's going to have to. Yeah, you have to have a minimum of 3 songs.
That song could very well be interpreted as many songs, how much it changes. But I'm genuinely curious to see how he makes those progressions over those spaces on that piece of music. So I think that's going to be really, really interesting.
Big one, Hodder.
Mr. Sean Hodder.
Mr. Hodder Batteries. And what was the other one?
Mr. Hodder. Jamie, you want to kick Sean off?
Hotter than hot.
Hotter than hot.
That's what it was.
Hotter than hot. I'm pretty excited to see Hodder's show this year. Just looking back at some of his shows that he did, his PGI show that he did this year, that he said his entire script was totally messed up, but you watch his show, he's like, man, that was pretty good. He's really, really creative in the way he expresses his shows. He makes some creative runs, some creative designs. He leads the spectator's eyes to what he wants them to see. You know, his Hakuna Matata, you know, look left and then fireball, look right, then fireball. I mean, there's just some unique things that he continuously does, and he moves with that stuff. His Phoenix is always a very popular thing. And that in particular parabola, that's redundantly done, is beautiful and completely different. Like, I would watch that over and over again. So I'm pretty excited to see what he brings to the table when he can script as fast as he scripts.
He has a lot of dramatic impacts in his music. You
Absolutely.
know, out of the 3 guys in this category, he's the one you've been able to, find the most videos on and see bigger picture shows, because that's what he does for a living too. So we've got to see a lot more of what he's capable of. And like what Jamie says, I'm excited for that too, because this is going to be one of those bigger budget shows that he doesn't have to worry about total budget. Like, this is all going into the show kind of thing. Like, we don't have to worry about a budget on that show kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and having that on this field is going to bring out a different side of him, because it's different. I don't know how to describe it. It's not your typical budget show. It's budgeted, but it's going to be his middle fingers up. I'm going to show you guys.
He's going to loosen the purse strings of his own wallet.
Yeah. But, like Jamie said too, there's a lot of movement, a lot of flow in his shows. I see that. It's filling too. Like, he has the ups and the downs and the fillings in his shows. He's well-rounded for this competition. Definitely say that.
Yeah. Well, and plenty experience too. I mean, Sean is
a block.
Exactly.
Wow.
Sean's a
he's taking it once or twice.
Well, I mean, you did say that he's filling.
Sean's show is filling. Okay. Sky is filled.
Sean's a solid designer. He's had years of experience and plenty to show for it in terms of accolades. The dude's got a portfolio of work behind him that, I guess, if I would make anything abundantly clear, it's not exactly what you think. You may think that I'm going to say that he's won a lot of competitions, which is totally true. He has. But throughout his career, when you watch his work, you see the progression of his styling. You're seeing what he's learning from one show to the next, literally watching him kind of work out what works and what doesn't. And that's a trait some of the most innovative and serious designers in our space have. He's gotten very, very good at product placement within the verticals. You know me, no mess equals yes, right? This requires a ton of patience and a lot of product knowledge, and all of that is accrued over time in the trenches. And Sean has put in his time. He knows how to execute in the design phase. He knows how to execute on the field. He demonstrates often a solid understanding of his tracks and identification of those good focal points, like you said earlier. And he's versatile. He can work quick segments. He can work slow segments. And I think he's the most likely this year out of any designer on the field to drop an innovative new, special move that make all of us designers kind of go, wow. He's done it at other venues. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but I think he's the guy that will not think twice about the risk versus reward payoff.
Yeah, he's not afraid to risk it, that's for sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so Pro-Am picks. AJ, what do you got?
I know Kevin's going to come out with something completely different, and seeing his lower budgeted shows with, I know like it's all in his own pocket. Now he's got something to really play with. And then not knowing Tom, but knowing he's got good product, I'm actually going to have to pick Hodder.
I think it's going to be a tight race between all 3 of them. Kevin's going to bring his game and we're going to see things we never saw before. Tom's going to do something with these sims and we're going to be like, wow. Yeah, but watching Hodder's videos, I got goosebumps watching videos, just listening to the crowd, and it's continuously, and it's just, I'm the passion. I've talked to him before, so I'm going to go with Hodder. I think he's determined to win. Like, he is determined to. So my pick is going to be Hodder, but I think all 3 are going to be epic.
Yeah, I think all 3 shows are going to be great, but for me, it's persistence, the dedication to the cause, and a field-proven career that's second only to his career as an internet shit poster, which I don't endorse, by the way. But I think Hodder takes the Pro-Am trophy in 2024. Firing systems give us a mechanism to bring the display that we've been dreaming up in our head into the world for the enjoyment of all of those who get to see it in its glory.
Innovations in tech have played a huge role, enabling the modern pyro show designer to do his or her thing. And as a junkie of that tech who's always looking for ways to be more efficient, I fall in love quickly with companies that understand my challenges. That's why the lot of us here at the Rhythm Pyro podcast love Muxboard long time. We're huge proponents of the modern quick plug and quick connect match technology. It's hands down one of the most innovative and elegant industry solutions that's hit pyro in a long time. CJ, Muxboard's owner, is on a mission to make sure that a wide variety of firing systems on the market have access to this industry-saving time tool. With slats and breakout boards compatible with Cobra, Ignite, Mongoose, Fire One, FireTech, and Starfire, there's likely a solution there for you. Muxboard's capabilities don't stop at off-the-shelf, though. If you're a display company or a pyro club or just want your gear to be a representation of you, Muxboard can tailor your slat's cosmetic look to your brand, offering custom PCB colors and even your logo. Jamie, AJ, and I use Muxboard because it saves time. And while some hobbyists think it's cool to work on the same show for an entire year, that's all well fine and good. Do that where it counts, though, on the fun stuff like design and picking product, and not on the stuff that's boring and takes forever, like punching down or landing standard wire lead cues. Head over to muxboard.com, MUXBRD.com. Invest in quality slats, breakout boards, and supporting technology for your firing system, and start talking about it. Because old flying wire leads and speaker terminals suck when you have more single shots in your show than you do dollars in your bank account.
All right, let's move on to the pro category, where everything's better when it's bigger.
Pro. Sunday, but it's Saturday. Hopefully it's not Sunday.
Participants in this division are budget limited. The creative use of lighting and special effects are within the rule set. And in this category, I think we have at least one designer, maybe two, of whom I've seen kind of lean on the technology in their show resumes in the past. So I guess let's start there. Let's start with James Baxter. Jamie, you wanna go first?
Absolutely. I've been waiting this entire podcast to go first.
That's not true.
68 episodes.
Oh, now I don't know what to do. So with James, limited videos I was able to find. Saw Pathfinder and Stacy Days 23. He's got some unique DMX, some flame machines, spark machines, some lights that he uses. And it'd be interesting. I'm assuming he's going to be bringing those to the field. What he does with those, because he did a really good job correlating those into the fireworks, not just making it about the DMX itself, which a lot of people struggle with. He does a pretty good job on his single shots, the slices to his shells. But with the limited amount of videos I saw, I like what I saw. It'd be interesting to see what he does with the big budget they have for this show and the big playground he has to play with.
I agree that the flame machines, he uses them tastefully.
Better than most I've seen, for sure.
He's using nice flame machines too. He's got, there were a couple on at least one of those fields that had the nice moving heads on them. And
you can tell how fast it zipped.
Yeah.
And
you can be profoundly impactful with those flame machines. And I agree with you completely, Jamie. He used them tastefully in the low level, and that can only do good things for your budget at the end of the day. You have a means to emphasize timing that is not going to burn up your budget when it comes to single shots.
Ooh, I never thought about that. Do they have to price for the gas that they use?
I don't know.
Is that in the budget? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because the Pro-Am doesn't get a budget. It's here's your budget. Go over if you want.
Yeah, here's your budget. Take out a loan if you like.
It's big.
Reverse mortgage your home. In relation to his pyro, though, I think James made, in the videos that I saw, which were the same ones that you saw, I think he made a good use of his secondary effects. And what do I mean by secondary effects? cross sets, delayed strobes, burn stages in your stars, things like that. So, secondary effects are one of the best ways to show and demonstrate a mastery over your product in context with the music. Every choreographer can hit a beat when they have complete control over the ignition of an effect. But understanding your products and how they evolve through your different vertical spectrum, and before you give them up to the pyro gods, it's meant to accent something on your track. And that can be hella impactful and really increase your point total on a scorecard if you get it right.
Definitely. I watched that, was it 23 when he used a lot of those flame machines? Like you said, they're going to be huge in some of these shows. I don't think I've ever seen one used in a pro show. Do you remember seeing these at all? I don't think we've actually seen DMX ever in a pro show.
I think DMX is at least the past couple of years that it became okay or legal to use that in the pro competition. I think people have tiptoed into the space and either elected not to do it or just I don't know. But I think this is the first time that we will see it.
So it's going to be definitely right there instantly. I think it's going to be a unique factor, Yeah. So that's bonus points right on the scorecard. I think it's definitely for that. So that's going to be huge and set him apart from the others, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I agree with you said after. It was a good way you put it too. I guess it was a better way of I was going to say is what you said. Use of his effects with burn time. That was the word I was looking for, because he did do that a lot with certain effects when he was, just shooting like a slice or a few shells and then just kind of letting it blossom. He used effects that blossom and stayed burning for a long time. Yeah. So it wasn't like it just broke and then black sky. It like did its thing and let it go.
Yeah, and he picked really solid points along his track to do it. I remember, I can't remember exactly which show it was, but one of them opened really strong with just a series of different secondary effects, and they were meant to do something at the apex of that product when the product broke and did its thing. And it was right on. It was right on the money. And that's the kind of stuff that it will translate to more points for you on the scorecard if you get that right. Back to the DMX thing really quick, since one thing that I noticed with at least one of his shows was he's a creative field layout guy. I think I saw some circular field layouts where they might have had some drones or something getting like the top down view, which in a show like that, right, where you got a drone, you're looking top down, the circular patterns and all that depth, you're almost seeing something in 2D space again, right? You're seeing the circular pattern in 2D space because you've got the drone viewing it from top down. At Skywars, you're very limited on the space that you have. You have your back lane and you have your front lane, right? And I think AJ, to the point you made with his DMX and how he's going to use that, very likely I would assume that those are going to be on his front line. And if they are, that really could be what he winds up using to convey some kind of depth in this show, since he's going to essentially be limited and he's not going to be able to take advantage of those creative field layouts.
But I think he would be able to in some ways, because they have other lanes. Like he could take up his like gas line lane. If you have gas mines, like you have a line for that. They also get like a 1-3 cake line. So like there's other spots to put them along the way. I just don't know layering them like that, how that would turn out too much. Like if he's got that planned, because you'd really have to know which lanes were yours footage wise, so you could get the lights to be, appropriate.
Yeah.
And do you really want your DMX stuff next to like a bunch of gas mines?
Exactly.
So, and going off with what his shows as well, I noticed that, and when watching those two shows, they're paid shows. Yeah. And you look at the time that are in them. Both of the shows, I think the first one was like 19 minutes. The other one was like 20 something minutes. They're going for half the time. And my guess is way bigger budgets than what they even had in these shows. So I'm really curious, with all of that extra budget and product and less time, is the whole show going to be like the opening of that Stacey Day show or whatever it was, like where it was real impactful in the opening, which I'm sure it's going to be, but I'm saying I think the shows are more going to look like that opening part. It's just going to be constantly like in your face, like, here we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Very huge and filling.
Moving on
there's
to
a breeze.
moving on to Big Daddy John Mickrit.
I know him.
You know him. You know him.
Do you?
I do. I will see him next Saturday.
John fills the verticals, and he fills them often. That's what she said. I think the same. I
was going to. I was like, no,
I know. We haven't done it, and I guess if we were going to do it on anybody's, it might as well be John's.
Might as well be John.
Somebody who's going to understand the importance.
Might as well do it with John.
That's right. Yeah, I think John's segments they're going to be a solid mix of big pyro moments and unique shapes. You know, his track work is one that works well in this venue. I think it's going to play well with the audience. It's going to play well with the judges. It's going to play well with the pyro, and the pacing and flow overall in his track is going to be super important in highlighting John's design style. You know, it's so hard not to get carried away and to do too much that can clog up your verticals and create masking effects that just essentially, where things get lost. And we all struggle with that. And the right track selection helps keep your inner Sonic the Hedgehog from going absolutely bananas, I think. And I think John's done an excellent job with his music selection and his field flow. And I think it's going to be well paced to reflect that and keep everything under control.
Yeah. I know it's kind of weird because we know a lot more about his show, and we know a lot more about John than anything. So I guess I know more about him as a person and as a designer than I do about the other two. But I agree with you. I think he's very impactful from his previous shows as just 4th of July shows, let alone. Mm-hmm. So he knows the 1.3 product and how to be impactful at that. But he's been growing so much more with the 1.4 and the lower level that this is going to be the perfect playground for him to be able to intertwine those two and really push out a different design that he's not used to be able to do for town shows, especially at the Walnut show where he's in between trees. He's not as in between trees like Dexter is, 75 feet.
Yeah.
But he's limited. It's not like you can be like,
you can tell it's narrow, you can tell it's tight, and those are those instances where especially the guys that shoot 1.3, which that's John's history. He's a 1.3 designer through and through, and like you said, utilizing 1.4 to try to relearn your cadences and relearn what makes a stellar sight picture, especially now that you have all of these paintbrushes that you can use to close the gap from the low level to your highest level.
John, the shows I seen were
I was really hoping you were going to say, John owes me money.
I think John doesn't owe me money.
He's the only one that doesn't owe me money.
You should owe me money. You should owe me money. But John's shows, the ones I seen, they were long shows, a lot of focus on 1.3. But they, like you said, he filled out the verticals. He was very, very impactful. I think with the 1.4, the layout, the multiple positions, a shorter time show, focus on the Pyro musical. It's hard to hear his music in the shows I watched, but the little bit I was able to hear, I liked what I saw. And with everything being more hyper-focused on that Pyro musical, and it's not coming out of his pocket or a paid show or looking for a 40-minute show because that's what the customer wants, I think he's going to have fun with this. I really do. I know he's worked very, very hard on it and picked a lot of people's brains, and I'm excited to see what he does with it for sure.
Yep. I think it goes without saying. And I think this is going to be across all of the pro designers this year. So much of the work that they have to reference is the traditional American shell show, and you just have to find spots in those bodies of work to say, okay, there it is. I mean, I see the potential for a really exciting Pyro musical because you don't have that luxury a lot of times with certain clients.
No, and this will all be like something, I think it's different too when you're doing a town show. It's again with what we were talking about earlier, but you can show yourself too. You know, because these shows they're not meant for the crowd. They're meant to be you kind of thing. So I think he's going to bring out a total different part of himself.
Yeah, I agree. Frank Truzino. AJ, you want to start?
Big Frank. I remember watching his Skywars thing, and when I saw it, he was talking
his
about
interview.
owning a gym.
Yeah,
I was like, oh man, I don't know if I want to even talk about him. What if he doesn't like what I say?
That's right. He's gonna.
Hey, you. Hey, come here.
Hey, you. You know how much how much protein I eat in a day. Well, yomp
how many
on
racks I throw around in a day?
That's right. Come over here. I'll yomp on your throat.
Oh my God, that's funny. So definitely with him, I only saw the 2 Christmas shows. That was the only ones that I found of him so far. The first one where it was, oh God, what's the name of that song now? 5 days of Christmas. Or 12 Days of Christmas. Thank you. So watching that one, when you get to the very end of the 12 Days of Christmas and you see him going down the list of all the effects that he did over each one, you could see like he has definite abilities to design different effects, different shapings and stuff like that. So I'm curious how that's going to work out. But I haven't really found anything to really pick him out of the group on like bigger impact shows kind of thing. Again, because it's a budget show. Like, and I get that. I understand that. Coming from doing shows with a company, like it gets hard real quick to like stay completely impactful all the time. Yeah. But you're on a budget, you know, when you can go through $2,000 in every minute. I mean, if on a small field.
And a lot of times these designers in this space, and you know, Frank is no different. He's using moments of, you know, quick scripted runs and chases and things to
emphasize parts of it, to keep action moving and keep
and break up monotony. And, you know, especially when you've got, you have 6 or 7 minutes of shells and you need something, right?
And again, going the same thing I said with Baxter, same thing with him. I think because this is one of those shows where budget matters, but it's not like, oh, my budget's, you know, this, but I have to make sure that I make enough money to cover my costs. At this point, it's all like, this is all going into the show. So it's a smaller time frame too. So he's going to just come out and do all kinds of stuff that he's never done before or never got a chance to do, because he was like, well, I can't afford to do that. I'd like to, but I can't. So I'm really, really curious with all the stuff that he's going to bring to the table.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to his soundtrack, his Billy Joel soundtrack.
Yeah. You know what's so funny? When I first heard that, I thought I was thinking completely off. I was doing, who sings the Rock the Cradle of Love?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
Seriously. White Wedding. White Wedding.
Oh, Billy Idol?
There we go. That's what I thought that was.
Yeah.
It didn't cross my head. So I heard a peek of the song. I'm like, who's singing? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
Billy Idol versus Billy Joel.
Because I was really thinking, I'm like, oh man, at Skywars, we're going to hear Rock the Cradle of Love. It's the Cradle of Love. I was like, man, this is going to be bad.
I saw, oh God, who was it? John and James were going on a thread about their t-shirts, and they were like, hey, you know, Frank, like, what's your t-shirt look like? And then Frank threw it up his, you know, Catalina wine mixer, neon looking graveyard t-shirt. You see that? It's got a headstone with Mick and Baxter's name on it. I thought that was hysterical. It's a Catalina wine mixer, man. Yeah. I see something in Frank's segments, or at least those quick segments where you see scripted work. I see a lot of potential there. And I think, if anything, depending on how he chops his track up, and depending on, you know, how many changes he makes throughout his track, or how many refrains that he chooses to actually go through in some of these Billy Joel songs, I think based on what I've seen, I think the biggest challenge for him is going to be executing on refrains. You know, if you've got the same chorus 2 or 3 times, and you plan on shooting that same exact chorus 2 or 3 times, make sure that you're you're changing something or doing something just a little bit different each chorus to one, tie it back to the music. It is a reference back to the chorus because the chorus is a refrain and it is a repeated section in a song, but you're creating that visual reference. You're creating that visual representation. And to keep a pyro musical from becoming monotonous, you have to try to inject that change somewhere. And I think that's probably one of the best places to do it. You just have to be careful about the way you do it. But all in all, I think Frank, he's the other mystery designer in this bunch for me because just the sample size of stuff that I feel like I had to look at as far as reference material. It wasn't enough to determine what his personality is. So totally. I'd be anxious to see some other work from him if it's available. But I am curious. I thought the runs that I did see, I thought the spacing was good. I thought the color mixture was good. I want to see more of it.
Show me more.
Show me more.
I agree with that. And like we said, we only saw 2 videos. Both of them were 2022 and 2023 Christmas, which means it was mostly likely on a budget. And there wasn't a whole lot of ability to show what he could do. Like you said, in his 12 Days of Christmas, the song kind of was a little monotonous, but it's a Christmas song. So
yeah, yep.
It's hard to script an epic pyro musical to a Christmas song, especially if you're on a tight budget or a small space. But when he did get into, 9, 10 days, 11 days of Christmas, and you got to see all the runs, it was pretty intricate. So
yeah,
his other one, it looked like it was probably just a display for a small crowd or something like that. And there wasn't a whole lot going on there. So I can't really justify judging him off those 2 displays, but seeing that the runs that he did in the 12 Days of Christmas, he definitely has the ability to do that. And it'd be interesting to see what he does with the product that he's going to be getting in the time that he has to use it and the crowd that he is about to wow.
The Pro Division overall this year, the designers, I feel like they all can run a hell of a show out there. Given the sample sizes that I've seen. And I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to come down to field execution and the designer's ability to kind of steer clear of that repetition and keep clean verticals through the sight pictures. Now, with that said, I'm going to pick John Mickert as the pro winner this year.
Jamie, I'll let you go second.
I'll
go last
John.
this time.
I want to pick John. I'm afraid that he's not going to win because I'm on his team. But I'm not going to be doing anything the entire time.
Show up, John. That's what he just said. He's going to show up.
I'm going to pick John because I'm not going to be doing anything. So I'm not going to mess anything up.
I feel like you just avoided Medusa duty.
There's no Medusas.
There's no Medusa.
John, just give him I'm
going to be doing Medusa duty the entire time because we don't need them.
Oh, you didn't need these at 0?
I've been working on them for 2 days.
That's it. He's going to be good.
I forgot to tell you.
There's 40 racks of Medusas over there. John's like, well, I don't have any Medusas in my show.
No. John's going to have me do Medusa duty, and then he's going to be like, oh, yeah, we're not using those.
Oh, my God, that's funny. I'm going to have to go with our man, John, as well. I think just knowing what I've seen from his shows previously, like you said, he's got a lot of fillings, a lot more upper and lower kind of in between for his shows. But I think here he's going to make it work better than what he did at his other shows. He's going to really take the time to punch all that stuff together. Because I know, again, those shows are budget shows. They're, 1-day setups. This is a total different whole animal for him. His mind's just like the other 2 are going to be completely different. I just haven't seen enough from the others. Yeah. Who knows? They get told wrong completely on Saturday night.
Yep. And that's it. Everybody's going to tell us to
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
Saturday morning, or actually, no, this will be Friday, right?
Yeah, this will be Friday.
I'll let you and Jamie show up first.
Yeah, thank you.
Call you at noon. Are you guys okay?
What's it now, man? I'm gonna take the temperature.
Jamie's at the hospital. He's got 3
something's
teeth
weird. They're
knocked
not.
out.
They're not picking up. Nobody's picking up.
Oh, and Frank, we're going to talk about this Pyro Dad production stuff.
I saw that at the beginning, and I thought I was like, I should take a screenshot of that and send it to AJ, but he's already seen it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I was like, squeeze me. Hey, we and I was like, nah, it's not like I can arm wrestle him for it. So
yeah, right, exactly. Sorry, we'll get you a protein shake or something.
Yeah,
I'll wheel you out there. Make sure you rest up. Well, actually, we'll carb you up the night before.
To all your shooters though that are really in this, I can't wait to see everyone's show. Every year, someone surprises me anyway. So I really am surprised. I'm really shocked for this year of how everything's going to go down. Because I almost feel like I'm going into this blind for everyone. Besides, maybe Hodder for the most part, because I've seen his stuff so much. Yeah. For everyone else, it's best guessing from just a few videos that I've seen of stuff. I've never got to see anybody's stuff in person. So I'm actually excited because it's going into something not really knowing what you're going to get. So that's what kind of makes this Sky Wars year a little exciting to go to.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I really do think that so often competitors get selected for the event and then they come out and then they just absolutely destroy all of their past work in a sense that they go and they run out a huge display that you never saw coming. And it winds up being this massively impactful display that it's for all of us to enjoy. We go back and we just, we do the whole eyebrows up and holy shit, that's awesome. That I can't believe it. And it makes you so proud of these guys. And everyone's worked so hard to get to this point. And, I wish all of you the best of luck. And I know all of you are going to bring it Saturday, and it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, come find us.
Yeah, come find us.
In a nice way.
Come find us. Then when you're done, you got nothing to do. Then you can come be on the podcast.
If you got nothing to do, you can come hang out.
Hang out with us. It'd be great. You can actually, you can.
Have some fun with me. You can come sit next to me and we'll sit on another competitor's lane just in a chair watching them.
Oh.
Be like, what, you're not done yet?
Tell them how you would do it?
You're not done yet?
Yeah.
I would have done it this way.
Give you a megaphone. You're not doing that right.
I think you should.
You're not doing that right.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, that's all I got. Anything else we need to talk about?
This is your ESPN Pyro Network.
Yeah, it's been your Pyro Network. This ESPN
style. I don't know how you'd say that. This has been your RPP. There you go.
RPPN.
Yeah. RPPN.
Pyro Podcast Network.
RUPPN?
Oh, tell me you got that soundboard, dude.
I don't. I can't use that. It's copyright. I can't use that. I thought about
make your own.
You can use the AJ.
Well, I know, but yeah, it's easy to say. We just had the idea to do this episode a day ago. And I thought about that while I was eating a burrito earlier. I'm like, ooh, I can go home and rewrite the Fox Sunday football theme and just rip it in guitar. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we record in 6 hours. Nope, can't do that.
I'll take you 20 minutes. You got this. I know you.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
And go do it.
Just do it.